people are going to pass judgment. They're going to say what they want to say, and they're going to make their own conclusions or whatever, and they're more than welcome to do it.
In a bid to escape the limelight and enjoy a normal day, the famous rapper Eminem disguised himself and hops onto a bus on the subway. However, he had no idea that this simple ride would lead to an unforgettable encounter. While on the bus, his gaze fell on a tiny girl, no more than 5, sitting alone with a look of curiosity that caught him off guard. As the bus rattled along, an unexpected connection sparked between them, hinting at a heartwarming story just waiting to unfold. What could Eminem and a little child share in common? Join us in this video as we reveal what happens when Eminem goes undercover. The bus ride. Eminem sat in his studio, surrounded by gold records and posters of his past successes, yet he felt increasingly disconnected from it all. The constant pressure of fame, the demands of the industry, and the expectations of fans weighed heavily on his shoulders. Each day was a cycle of meetings, interviews, and performances, leaving little room for the peace he desperately craved. The world knew him as a titan of rap, but the man behind the persona was searching for a way to escape. One dreary afternoon, after a particularly grueling session in the studio, he made an impulsive decision. He needed to step away, to reclaim a bit of normalcy that had been lost amidst the chaos. Disguising himself in a worn hoodie and baseball cap, he decided to board a bus, something he hadn't done in years. The anonymity of public transportation appealed to him. It was a way to be just another face in the crowd, if only for a little while. As he walked up to the bus stop, the familiar city smells surrounded him: warm asphalt, fast food, and a hint of rain. The late afternoon sun stretched shadows on the pavement, making him feel a rush of excitement at the thought of blending in. When the bus arrived with a hiss, he stepped on, his heart racing with nerves and thrill. He found a seat at the back, enjoying the gentle vibrations of the bus. The chatter of passengers created a comforting background noise, letting him watch life unfold without the usual attention he faced. As the bus pulled away, he looked out the window at the city he loved, even if it sometimes felt tiring. Each stop brought a new mix of people: students with backpacks, tired workers heading home, and older folks with grocery bags. He felt a surprising connection to them, just everyday people living their lives like he wanted to do. For the first time in a long while, he felt a wave of peace wash over him. As the bus rolled through familiar streets, Eminem looked out the window, seeing sights that once felt ordinary but now burst with life. The gentle hum of the engine created a calming backdrop, letting him forget the usual chaos around him. At each stop, new passengers climbed aboard, each with their own stories visible on their faces. A young student hopped on, earbuds in, completely lost in his music. Eminem smiled, remembering his own youthful dreams and ambitions. The boy's energy sparked a nostalgia for the joy that once fueled his journey in music. Nearby, a weary office worker sank into a seat, grateful for a moment of rest. Eminem related, he'd spent countless nights pushing through fatigue to create something meaningful. As he continued to gaze out at the city, he noticed the little things often overlooked: the colorful graffiti on the walls, street musicians pouring their hearts into their craft, and the laughter of children playing in a nearby park. Each moment felt alive, pulsating with the energy of everyday life. He felt a strange kinship with the people around him, a shared humanity that transcended fame and fortune. The bus made a stop at a bustling market, and the doors swung open, releasing a rush of fragrant air. Eminem took a deep breath, savoring the smells of fresh produce and street food. It was a stark contrast to the sterile atmosphere of his usual haunts. Here, he was just another person enjoying the city, free from the weight of his persona. As more passengers boarded, he noticed an elderly couple who shuffled hand in hand, their love evident in the way they leaned into each other. Watching them, Eminem felt a wave of nostalgia. It reminded him of the moments he cherished, the connections that mattered most. In that instant, he realized that amidst the noise of his fame, he had almost forgotten how precious these small, everyday interactions could be. The bus lurched forward again, and he settled back, a contented smile spreading across his face. For the first time in ages, he embraced the serenity of the journey, savoring the freedom of anonymity. In this simple act of riding a bus, he found solace, connection, and a renewed appreciation for the life he had, one filled with stories, emotions, and most importantly, people. Suddenly, the bus pulled to a stop and in walked a small figure that instantly captured his attention. A little girl, no more than 5 years old, stepped aboard, clutching a stuffed bear. Her bright yellow coat stood out against the drab bus interior, and she looked around with wide, curious eyes, seemingly both excited and apprehensive. Eminem felt a rush of warmth as she approached, her small frame exuding an innocence that felt like a breath of fresh air. As she took a seat nearby, he couldn't help but be drawn to her. The weight of his fame faded, replaced by a desire to connect with this child who seemed so untainted by the complexities of the world. It was as if she embodied all the joy he had been missing. But this meeting was set to impact Eminem beyond just this moment. Eminem's encounter with Lily. The girl wandered down the aisle, her small stature making her look even more fragile among the larger passengers. She spotted a seat near him and settled in, clutching her teddy bear tightly. Eminem watched her as she gazed out the window, her reflection blending with the passing scenery. There was something refreshing about her unfiltered joy, and he felt an urge to connect. "Hey there," he said, his voice low and friendly. "What's your bear's name?" She turned to him, surprise lighting up her face, and said his name was Mr. Snuggles, while holding the bear up proudly. "Mr. Snuggles? That's a cool name. Does he go on adventures with you?" Eminem asked, genuinely intrigued. "Yeah, he goes everywhere. He's my best friend," she said, her eyes sparkling. He felt a warmth in his chest as he listened to her. Curiosity sparked within him, and he leaned in a little closer, eager to know about her adventures. She shared how they sometimes visited the park to play on the swings, and other times went to the store for ice cream, her tiny hands gesturing animatedly as she spoke with glee. He found himself enjoying the simple conversation, asking about her favorite flavor. She eagerly declared her love for chocolate chip cookie dough, prompting him to share his own preference. A smile spread across Eminem's face as he recalled simpler times, deciding that vanilla was his choice, a classic flavor perfect for mixing with others. Her giggle rang out, infectious and bright, as she then asked if he liked cookies. He laughed at the thought of anyone not liking cookies, feeling the tension of his life start to dissipate. Curious about her baking habits, he asked if she made cookies with her mom. She replied that they sometimes baked together, but mostly they bought them. Her expression turned wistful as she mentioned that her grandma made the best cookies. He agreed, thinking of how grandmas had a special way of making everything better, and his mind drifted back to the comfort of his own childhood and family. As they continued to chat, the bus navigated through the city, stopping occasionally to let passengers on and off. With each stop, Eminem felt a growing sense of peace, as if the weight of the world was lifting. The little girl's laughter and innocence provided a welcome distraction from the noise in his head. Suddenly, she asked if he was a superhero, her eyes wide with curiosity. Caught off guard, he chuckled and replied that he didn't think so, just a regular guy trying to make his way. "But you're famous," she insisted. "I saw you on TV once." "Oh, really? What did you think?" he asked, genuinely interested in her perspective. "You looked really cool, but I like you better like this, just talking," she said with a smile that lit up her entire face. "Thanks, that means a lot," he said, touched by her honesty. "I like it better too." As the conversation continued, the little girl's smile reminded him of the things that truly mattered: joy, connection, and the innocence of childhood. He found himself sharing stories about his own childhood, his dreams, and the things he loved. She listened intently, her eyes sparkling with fascination. She expressed her desire to be a princess when she grew up, gesturing as if she wore a crown. He asked what her kingdom would look like, playing along with her imaginative vision. She described a big castle filled with flowers and a giant slide, her enthusiasm infectious. He couldn't resist the playful banter and wondered aloud if Mr. Snuggles would be her royal advisor. She giggled and clutched her bear, declaring that he would help her make all the rules. As they continued talking, Eminem felt a genuine connection forming, one that transcended the barriers of fame and fortune. Here was a little girl, completely unaware of his celebrity status, engaging with him as a friend. It was a refreshing reminder of the beauty of human connection, and he found himself opening up more than he had intended. As the journey went on, he turned to Lily and gently asked about her dad. Her smile faded as she revealed that he had left when she was little, explaining that her mom said he just couldn't handle it. Looking down, her voice trembled as she admitted that it hurt. Eminem nodded, a flicker of recognition in his gaze. I get it. My dad left too. It makes you feel empty. He paused, choosing his words. But you're stronger than you think, Lily. It's not your fault. She looked up, their shared pain creating a bond, a moment of understanding that transcended their worlds. The bus suddenly jolted to a stop, and the little girl's expression changed from joy to concern. What if my mom doesn't come? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. Eminem felt a surge of protectiveness. I'll wait with you just in case. You're not alone, he assured her, sensing her worry. Really? You'd do that? She asked, her eyes wide with hope. He agreed to wait together with her, feeling a warmth in his heart. It felt good to be needed, even if just for a moment. They settled back into their seats, and he entertained her with stories, recounting tales of his own childhood adventures. They laughed together, and for those fleeting moments, he experienced a sense of joy that had been missing for far too long. As time passed, the bus pulled into a familiar stop, and the girl's face brightened with excitement. When she dashed off the bus, she spotted her mother rushing toward her, relief washing over both their faces. They embraced tightly, the wait finally over. Turning to Eminem, her unexpected companion, she smiled and expressed her gratitude for his company. Hopping off her seat, she beamed at him and proclaimed that he was her friend. He nodded, his trademark grin flashing as he encouraged her to have fun on her adventures. With her mother by her side, the girl felt a wave of gratitude for the unlikely friendship forged in that stressful moment. They headed to the park, with Lily clutching Mr. Snuggles tightly. Laughter echoed as the sun began to set, marking a new chapter for them all. As the bus continued its route, he reflected on their encounter. The conversation had reminded him of the simplicity of life, the importance of connections, and the power of a genuine smile. It was a stark contrast to the chaos that often consumed him, and he felt a renewed sense of clarity. In the following days, Eminem found himself thinking about Lily and the warmth of their interaction. He began to write, inspired by the innocence she embodied. Lyrics flowed from him with ease, capturing the essence of love, childhood, and the fleeting moments that often go unnoticed in the hustle of life. Back in the studio, he poured his heart into the music, crafting a song that reflected his journey back to simplicity. The process felt cathartic, a way to channel the feelings that had been stirred within him during that bus ride. Each verse resonated with the clarity he had gained, a reminder that life's true treasures lay not in fame, but in the connections made along the way. As the song took shape, he found himself embracing a new perspective. The chaos of fame still existed, but he learned to navigate it with a sense of purpose. The memory of that little girl became a beacon of hope, inspiring him to seek out more of those moments that reminded him of what truly mattered. In the days that followed, he started making small changes in his life. He took walks through the city, interacted with fans more openly, and made an effort to enjoy the little things that often went unnoticed. Each encounter felt like a gift, a reminder that there was beauty to be found even amidst the noise. The release of his new song marked a turning point in his career. It was different from anything he had done before, more personal, more reflective. Fans resonated with the message, finding comfort in the reminder that everyone, even a superstar, faces struggles and seeks connection. Do you think that Eminem's decision to go undercover was the best way to turn away from his responsibilities as a star, or that his encounter with Lily really impacted his view of the world? Let us know in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.